Hello, my dear students. Myself Shegulnas. Now I am here with the topic of government. For the subject of social science for the students of 6th standard. Students, in this chapter you are going to learn that the meaning of government, types of government are discussed, and next about that is governments like democratic government you will learn here, dictatorial government and the communist government are explained in this chapter. So students, after understanding this chapter, you will understand the meaning of government, the types of the government, the democratic government, the dictatorial government, the communist government, and the difference between the three types of the governments. So students, now let us start with this chapter, the meaning of government. So in order to ensure comfortable and happy life to people of a nation, a systematic administration is needed, isn't it? Students, to run, for example, if we have an organization, if we have a business, what we will have to do? If we have to run that in a proper way, so we have to have some rules and regulations, so that it will be the organization will be run in a proper way. Like that, for example, if we have school, so to run the school, it is compulsory to have rules and regulation. Otherwise, we will be having messes. So we will do whatever we want. That will be not a proper. So to run the organization in a proper way, in a peaceful manner, so it is compulsory to have a rules and regulation. To implement rules and regulation, it is compulsory. So here, an organization that has the legal sanctions to run the administration is called government. So got it, students? What is your government? An organization that has the legal sanction to run the administration is called government. So this institution has the responsibility to formulate rules, laws, and implementations of laws, them in order to ensure order and peace in the life of the citizens. So students, this organization, that is the government, in this institution has the responsibility to form laws, rules and regulation, and to implement that rules and regulation in order to ensure peaceful life of the citizens. So if we are living in a society, so it is compulsory. For example, students, if we have to live, if we want to live in a society in a peaceful manner, so it is compulsory to have rules and regulations. So for example, if we are doing a bad things, illegal things, means we have the rules and regulations for that, we can stop them. So for running in a proper way, in a correct manner, it is compulsory to have this. So now let us see the students' types of government. What are the types of government? Now let us see here. There are many types of government are there. So in that, the following are the importance. Now let us see which are the important governments we have. That first one is democratic government, dictatorial government, communist government. These are the three important government among the other types of government. Okay. Now let us see what are the importance of this government. First we have that is democratic government. So students, democratic government is a type of government which functions through the elected representatives of the people. Since people rule themselves through their representatives, this is called as people's government. So students, in another way we can see democratic government as a people's government also, we can say the other words. How means we can say, students, here in our society, especially India has a form of government that is democratic. So we are electing a leader, representative, by giving vote. So majority of vote to whom it will be, so that person will be the leader. So here students, that is nothing but democratic form of government. So the freedom that people have to choose their representative is the basic trait of democracy. So democracy is a system that ensures individual freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of forming associations. It also facilitates the relationship between the individual and the state. So here students, in democracy form of government, it is a system that ensures individual freedom, freedom of expressions and freedom of forming association. In this government, these are the things, students, that will allow. So it also facilitates the relationship between the individual and the state. So students, if we have the democratic form of government, what will be? We will elect the member to whom we want. So students, next year, Abraham Lincoln has said, here students, Abraham Lincoln is a 6th the 16th or 17th president. He was a president of America. Now let us see about according to him, what is democracy? So here students, democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. So he said that democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. So now let us see, there are three organs in the government. Which are the three organs of government, students? Legislature, executive, judiciary. So these are the three important organs of the government. Which are the three important organs of the government, students? Here, legislature, executive, judiciary. So here students, legislature forms the law, executive implements the formed law, the judiciary deals with the issues of justice. So students, these are the organs of the government. That is legislature, executive, judiciary. Legislature is nothing but those who forms the law. Executive implement the formed laws. So judiciary deals with the issues of justice. So if they are not following, the people, those who are not following the laws, so the judiciary has the right to punish them, whoever it may be. So now let us see the fundamental principles of democracy. We have, that is freedom. Fundamental principle of democracy is freedom. Freedom is the basic tenet of democracy. So citizens have the freedom to participate in governance, express their opinions and travels in the nations. They also have the right to participate in social functions and gatherings. So they also have many other freedoms. So students, as we are the citizens of India, we have many rights we have, isn't it? So in that freedom, rights of freedom. So here, fundamental principle of democracy, that first one is freedom, students. Freedom is a basic tenet, basic point or basic principle of democracy. So citizens have the freedom to participate in the governance, express their opinions and travel in the nation. So we don't have any restrictions and laws if we are traveling from one place to another place, isn't it, students? So they also have the right to participate in social functions also. Social functions, it is nothing but our national festivals and all, if any these things are there, whichever we are running in societies. So we can easily participate in that things and gatherings. So they also have many other freedoms also, students. Now let us see the second one fundamental principle of democracy, that is equality. So here students, in equality, democracy is based on the belief that all are equal, isn't it? In our Indians, we believe that students in our country that all are equal. So it facilitates equal opportunity for all. No caste discrimination, no gender discrimination will be there if we have equality, isn't it? So it consists of all irrespective of caste, creed, race, languages, sex and financial status like poor and rich. So students, we should not discriminate on the basis of these things, isn't it? They are also human beings and there are others also. We have money, if they doesn't have means it is nothing. We should not do that discrimination on the basis of these things, that like caste, creed, race, languages and sex and also financial status like poor and rich. So according to this principle, students of democracy, that we all are equal. Okay. So next we have, that is fraternity. Now let us see what is the meaning of fraternity here. Fraternity means all are one, irrespective of differences like languages, caste, creed, religion, race and other things. So students, keeping these things aside, fraternity shows that it means all are one. Okay. So the sense of oneness is a fraternity. Democracy fosters fraternity. So students, here democracy, what it is, it does here is, so it will take all. Okay, so if we are going to give a vote for election and all, for representing our government and all, it is they will say you whether the other caste should stand here, these and that. No. Why? Because the government principle is only, fundamental principle is fraternity, oneness. So they will not do these things. So we should have these feelings. We must have that we all are one. So welfare of all. So according to democracy, fundamental principle of democracy, students, welfare of all. So democracy aim at establishing a welfare state where the citizens can achieve political, economical and social development. So students, welfare of all. They will not look for an individual and all. So they will be taking of all, and it aims is to establish welfare state to all, so that citizens can achieve political, economical and social development. Now let us see the government of the people. So democracy is a government by the people, by representatives elected by the people in the elections that are held as per schedule run the government. The administration is run in accordance to the will of the people. So if the elected representative fail to run the administration as per the will of the people, they would lose power in the next election. So students, if we, according to this principle of democracy, students, government of the people, the democracy is a government by the people, isn't it? So the representative elected by the people in the elections that are held as per the schedule run by the government, according to the government schedule. Okay, according to that terms, we will give election. For MLA 3 years, or of 5 years election will be there. For corporator 3 years. It is like that the terms will be there, na, schedule of government. So according to that we have to give vote. So the administration is run in accordance to the will of the people. Will of the people, students, means it is nothing but the person to whom we are giving the majority of vote, that person will be the leader. So here, students, if the elected representative fail to run the administration as per the will of the people, they would lose the power in the next election. So students, what happened here? If the person to whom we have given the vote and he won the election, so he is unable to fulfill our demands of the public. So what happened in the next election? The government does not allow that person to have the to give the power in next election. So next, the majority government. In a democratic system, many political parties contest in the elections. So among them, the party which gets the highest number of representative forms the government and run the administration. So here, students, majority government, it is nothing but, just now I said you that if the person, many of them parties will participate in the election. So among them, the party which gets the highest number of representative vote, so that person will be appointed as a leader. So next, we have the opportunity for the public criticism. So democracy ensures freedom of speech and expression. Therefore, the people have the right to review and criticize the policies and programs of the government. Therefore, the government needs to manage the work properly. So moreover, the democracy gives importance to public opinion. So students, according to this fundamental principle of democracy, that is the opportunity for public criticism, democracy ensures freedom of speech and expression. Whatever we have any problems and all, we can discuss in front of public. Isn't it, students? We can go to the court and whichever problem is there, you can discuss. So the power here, therefore, the people have the right to review and criticize the policies of programs of the government. If the government, they are not running it properly, they are not giving and they are not fulfilling what the needs of people is there, so they have the rights to speak in front of all. So therefore, the government needs to manage the work properly. So students, if we, for example, if I won the election, it is not that much only. If I won, for you people only, I have to work, isn't it? So according to that, according to the government just allow the person to fulfill the demands, needs of the people. Okay. So moreover, the democracy give importance to the public opinion. According to the public, the government should be run according to the democracy form of government. So next we have, that is decentralization of power. So here, students, decentralization of power is another principle of democracy. So the power is distributed among the central, state, local, self-government, and the centralized administration fail to grasp the needs of the people at local levels, and also people cannot have their voice heard in the centralized system. So students, here in decentralization of power, it is another principle of democracy. The power is distributed among central government also, the state government also, and the local self-governments also. So the centralized administration fail to grasp the needs of the people at the local levels, and also people cannot have their voice heard in the centralized system. So students, what happened here? For example, the centralized government, here the Prime Minister of India is Narendra Modi. So if we have any problems related to about society and all, we cannot tell the problems directly to that person, centralized government. So because of that, the government has been given a part, like our state government is also there, district level government is also there. We have to discuss in front of that so that they can go forward. So like this. Next we have the adult franchise system. So students, according to this principle of democracy, elections are inevitable to form the democratic government. So students, elections are held on the basis of adult franchise. So students, if small members, for example, for small babies, they cannot understand the persons, the people small, the children. So because of that, they have, according to that adult franchise, it is nothing but the citizens who have 18 years of the age and above take part in the vote of the election. We can say the citizen of India whose age is 18 or more than 18, they are only eligible to vote. So democracy aspires for the better government through this method. So apart from these, there are many other features are there of democracy. You can see here the students, the image is there of pulling both. Like this, we will go for election and we will give votes. Now let us see the next government, that is dictatorial government. So students, you can see the images there on the screen. The power of the entire state is concentrated in one individual or with a group of individuals in this form of government. Here students, in dictatorial government, it is nothing but a power of the entire state is concentrated in one or with a group of individual in this form of government. So students, the will of one individual or one group in this is the principle of dictatorial government. While democracy upholds freedom, the dictatorial government rejects it. So students, here the dictatorial government will run by the individual person of whole state or the group of individual. Okay, the group does have a single views. So students, here they will not look for the views of public. So whichever they want, and they will not allow freedom like democracy. So the administration is run in accordance with the whims and franchise of the ruler. So according to the ruler, what he wanted the peoples to do, they have to do in this form of government. So his wish becomes the law, the wish of the person, dictatorship. So the person who is a dictator, so according to his will, the government should be run, and whatever he wanted to wish, the wish will be the law. So in this type of government, all social, economical, religious and other principles are nothing but the orders of the ruler. So citizens have no right to oppose it or criticize it. So there would be a law that makes mandatory to fulfill the needs and the wishes of the citizens. The dictator's wish is a final in questions of lawful or unlawful issues, whichever that may be the issue of whichever. So if the dictator passed the law, that he passed anything, a word, sentence about that this must be followed. So that whatever the dictator will tell you, that is a law for the dictator form of government. So students, here one can see a dictatorial rules in the world from time to time. It was present in 16th century in Europe and in countries like France, Spain, Russia and England during 18th century. Students, so we can be a blessful from God, so we don't have this form of government, isn't it? So it is better we have the democracy form of government. So here if we compare with dictatorial government, this government was ruled in the world from time to time. It was present in 16th century in Europe country and in other countries like France, Spain, Russia and England during 18th century. So here students, features of dictatorial government we have. You can see the students, here it is the image is there now. It is of a Germany's Hitler's image it is. He was a dictator of Germany. So next we have the features of dictatorial government. So students, now let us see the features. Single party, single leader and single political agenda. So students, here in this format the features is there, that is single party will be there or a single leader will be there and single political agenda. So in a dictatorial system there is an opportunity only for one party and it is the party of the dictator. Other political parties, associations and institutions are not allowed to function. Like we have in our India, we have many parties like Congress, BJP, GDP and all these, many are there. So in this dictatorship government, students, so they don't have others party. there will be an individual party. So they are cancelled in this system. If other institution will came or institution association will be participate in that, means they will cancel them. So those who oppose the dictator will be suppressed without mercy. So what happened here, if someone who stands against the dictator will be suppressed, they will be punished or without mercy. So next, single leader, it is nothing but students here, the government is run by a single leader, complete faith in expected in the dictator. The dictator represents the unity of the country. So the dictator takes decisions in all the matters. His decision is final. So students here, single leader, it is nothing but a government is run by a single person. So according to his, whatever the will be there, according to his wishes, the government will be going to follow. So the complete faith is expected in the dictator, and he will be looking for the unity of the country also. And here the dictator takes the decisions in all the matters. And whatever the decision will be there of dictator, his decision will be final. So next, single political agenda. So there is a single political agenda for the complete nation. Single will be the agenda will be there. So it is the agenda of the party that belongs to the dictator, and what the party to whom, for example students, before the elections will be going to held, before that time there will be agenda will be there, vote for this party and that, these like that. So the agenda will be there of only here in the dictator form of government, only of single party. So in accordance to the agenda, the administration of the dictator runs. Okay, next we have no individual freedom. So in the dictatorial government, the feature is that is no individual freedom will be there. So in dictatorial system, individual will not have any rights or freedom. The respect towards the law is considered as law equal to individual freedom. So the citizens will have no right to form association, organize meetings and express their will. So they have no right to criticize the administration. So the citizens have to accept and approve the administration of the ruler. So students, according to this, no individual freedom will be there. So students, what happened here, they can't speak the words in front of all. They don't have the right to speak also. So the respect towards the law, they have to respect towards the law, and they should not say any word against that government, and they don't have any right of to form association or to organize meeting or to express their will also. So they have no right to criticize the administration. The citizens have to accept and approve the administration of the ruler only. So next we have that is glorification of nationalism. So students, nationalism is given extreme importance in dictatorial government. So it seeks to increase the sense of nationalism in the people. So it expects people to undergo any sacrifice for the sake of country. So students, here in our country, in a democracy form of government, the leader must have to sacrifice the things for the people. So sacrifice is nothing but students for the demands, to fulfill demands and all for the public. They have to do anything. So but in this form of government, you can see the nationalism is given extreme importance in the dictatorial government. Okay, so it seeks to increase the sense of nationalism in the people. So it expects people to undergo any sacrifice for the sake of the country. So the peoples have to sacrifice their needs and their life also if it comes towards the nationalism. So next we have totalitarianism. So students, totalitarianism, it is nothing but the dictatorship is totalitarian, and it regulates the social, political, economical, educational and cultural factors. So it includes, the government will include all the factors and regulates, that is the rules will be of social also, political, economical, educational and cultural factors. There should be nothing against the government, and everything should be in favor of the nation only according to this government. So next, the racial superiority. So the dictatorship accept the racial superiority. So it believes that their race is superior to the races living in other nations. So students, here in dictatorship accepts the racial superiority. So it believes that the race is superior to the races living in another nation. For example, Hitler believed that the German race was superior to the races living in other nations. So students, they used to give more importance towards the racialism. So the dictatorship is against the democratic system. So the Second World War is the result of dictatorship. Most of the modern nations are adopting the democratic system. So students here, racial superiority, it is nothing but superiority means they are giving importance to the racialism only. So Hitler, he was a dictator, as I said you, just I showed you the image of dictatorship, the person of Germany. So students, he used to believe that he is the German, or most of the we can say Hitler believed that the German race was a superior to races living in the other nations. So the dictatorship is against the democratic system. So if we compare, just now I said you about democratic government and also of dictatorial government, students. So by this you can understand what are the differences. Many differences is there. So because of this system, this form of government, the Second World War is the result of dictatorship. So most of the modern nations are adopting the democratic system because of this. Students, this was the another important government. Next we have, that is communist government. This will be discussed and continued in the next chapter, students. Or we can, so students, communist government. So the communist government is a government that believes in the principles that all the basic means of productions like land, labor, capital belongs to the community. So students, communist government is nothing but a government that believes that the principle that all basic means of production like land, labor and capital belongs to the community. And it also believes that one should work as per his capacity and one should get as per his needs. So there is no provision for private property in this government. The communism is based on the principle of equality and seek to foster a society that has no discrimination based on caste, creed, race, rich and poor, etc. So according to the communist philosophy, private property widens the difference between poor and rich and leads to struggle between the rich and the poor. So finally the working class majority wins in this struggle. So after this, a society that has no discrimination forms. Here the culture of all working for all leads to happiness of all. So this system of government was advocated by Karl Marx, the German philosopher. Students, according to the communist government, they does not give any discrimination between rich and poor and according to this and that. So they all have to work for the community. So students, whichever the things they are earning and all, they have to earn for community. So they will not give permission for private business and all. If they give, there will be the discrimination. Because of that, they will not allow. So this government system was advocated by the Karl Marx, the German philosopher. So now let us see the features of communism here. There are the certain features, that is community owns the property. It means if the means of production like land, labor and capital are in the hands of private individual, the exploitation starts. If we give the permission for the individual students, what happened here? For the production of land and everything, if we are giving to a permission for the private business and all, what happened? The exploitation starts. They used to believe in communism. So hence all the means of production are to be owned by the community only. So all should work as per their capacities and all should get as per their needs. This is the principle of communalism. So next features we have, that is equality, classless society, power to workers, revolutionary changes. So students, in communism, every citizen is equal in all the ways. So it treats everyone equal without discriminating on the basis of class, caste, religion and race. So next we have, that is classless society. So there is no class for rich and poor students in communism. So therefore it creates the classless society. The principle of communism is that there should be only working classes will be there, not of rich and poor. So next we have the power to workers. So the existence of private ownership leads to exploitation in the name of profit, which in turn create class system. So here students, power to workers here is the existence of private ownership. So leads to exploitation. Exactly, if we are giving to the permission for the individual person, means what happens students? There will be the class will be there. Or if rich and all, because of that reason here student, they will not allow the persons to do the private business and all. There would be a struggle between the rich and poor, which would ultimately give the power to the working classes. So because of this reason, they have not given for the power to workers. Next, they have given only the power to workers. They have not given for the individual. Okay, those who are working, they have a power. So next we have the revolutionary change. Students, the social system is changed drastically in a short period of time. Then equal political, economical and social benefits are given to everyone equally. Everyone can lead a comfortable and happy life. In nutshell, communism is a government in a favor of human beings. Every citizen can lead an exploitations free life. So students, here in this revolutionary changes has been occurred so drastically, suddenly we can say, then the equal government was there of politically, socially and social benefits are given to everyone equally, so everyone can lead a comfortable and happy life. So in nutshell, the communism is government in favor of human beings, so every citizens can lead an exploitation free life. So next, the exercise bits is there for you students. You have to solve this. So what is government? Mention the types of government. What is democracy? Write the meaning of dictatorial government. And what is communist government? Explain. So these are the questions, exercise questions is there students. If you have any doubts and questions relating to this topic, you can ask me, and I hope you understood this chapter. Thank you for watching my video students.